seriously this time. Fani Willis could possibly be facing jail time in the near future. However, she literally expressed how she has zero remorse for any of her actions.
I don't feel like my reputation needs to be reclaimed. Let's say it for the record. I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done. I guess my greatest crime is I had a relationship with a man, but that's not something that I find embarrassing in any way. And I know that I have not done anything that's illegal. No, my team's been continuing to work, and I think the media, and especially organizations like your own, have been paying attention. All while that was going on, we were writing responsive briefs. We were still doing the case in the way that it needed to be done. I don't feel like we've been slowed down at all. I do think that there are efforts to slow down this train, but the train is coming.
Sorry to say this, Fani, but you already came. Talk about the train is coming. No, Fani was. Oh, and Nathan. My guy Nathan, they both was coming together. Oh, and they came together. And bro, let me stop. Now, as promised, I'm going to tell y'all how she could be facing jail time. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and say, look, man, y'all see this arrogance. This, I ain't got no remorse for nothing, you know what I mean? I ain't regret nothing. I just had some relations with a guy, you know what I mean? Y'all try and condemn me. Nah, man, it get way deeper than that. You trying to make it very broad. And in fact, I can say you're an actual hypocrite, like a literal hypocrite. You are literally doing what you campaigned against. And you also express your dislike towards doing this, sleeping with your employees and things like that. But you turn around and do it. Oh, okay. But let me guess, all of this happened just because you're a black, or all of this is happening to you simply because you're a black woman. And you have these new challenges to face because you're a black woman. And all of this is only happening to you on your skin color. Oh, man. She went to church again, y'all.
And it's hard out here always having to prove yourself 2 and 3 times. Recently, they tell me they don't like me to talk about race. Well, I'm going to talk about it anyway. Truth is, it's some challenges that come to being black. And I see so much greatness in this city that has so many great African-American leaders. And I appreciate all of the sacrifice that you all have had to make to be in these positions. So, Chief Meadows, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for having the intelligence to create an event like this where we recognize that you've had to go through a little more to serve.
I'm just going ahead and say it, man. A whole bunch of cap, and she's still taking the victim route here, bro. Nobody told you to go over with Nathan and go do the do. Nobody told you to do. Nobody said sit your fanny on Nathan. Nobody said that. Y'all decided to do that, and that's cool, right? But then you hired him. And then he also got a substantial amount of money. You see how nah, bro, this ain't about a black or a white thing. And could you imagine if somebody, when he went up there and said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Being white comes with a lot of challenges. It's like, yo, come on, man. Like, we got to get out of this habit of just trying to get black sympathy, cultural sympathy, just off of the spaces of our skin color, all right? And then on top of that, if you want to, I ain't gonna have a segregation topic right now. Let's talk about this woman possibly going to jail now. We are on MSN. Yes, y'all know we try to read media that don't necessarily reflect our views. Anyhow, Fani Willis told to rescue herself from the Trump case or face jail time. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Let's get some context. Trump, the presumptive Republican presidential nominee, has pleaded not guilty to a number of charges in Georgia over allegations he broke the law attempting to overturn the 2020 presidential election result in the state. This is one of 4 criminal cases Trump is facing as he makes his bid for a second White House term. Trump has consistently denied all allegations against him, which he claims are politically motivated. Come on, bro. I can take my glasses off and still can see that it's politically motivated, bro. Come on. Well, we know. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, Harrison Floyd wrote, quote, "I don't want to put a black woman in jail." Well, you just couldn't say woman. I mean, I know Harrison is black. Anyhow, but if Fani Willis does not rescue herself from the case by noon on Monday, I may have no other choice than to pursue all lawful remedies. Make Fulton great again, end quote. He threw some extra shade and seasoning on that one. Floyd posted part of an article purportedly from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, suggesting that Willis's office shared a recording of a conversation Willis had with his attorney, Carlos J.R. Salvador, and an unrelated criminal case in Maryland. Floyd suggested that Willis's office may have violated the Maryland Wiretap Act. Oh, man, come on now. She used to violating. This ain't nothing new. Under which it is unlawful to record any private in-person conversation or telephone communication unless you are a party to the conversation and have the permission of all of the parties. So, let's continue. While the majority of states have one-party consent law, this is exactly what I was going to ask. That allows a conversation to be recorded so long as one person agrees. There are 11 states, including Maryland, that require two-party consent. So if Georgia only requires one party, is this the loophole? I don't know, y'all. Under Maryland's Wiretap Act, recording a private conversation without consent from both parties is punishable by up to 5 years in prison. A fine up to $10,000. Sheesh, or both. I'm pretty sure she's going to take the fine for $10,000. Newsweek contacted the Fulton County District Attorney's Office for comment outside of normal working hours. Let me go ahead and read. I'm going to read these last three little paragraphs, and we're going to stop from there. Christopher Cashapp, one of Floyd's attorneys, made the same accusation against Willis on Tuesday during an interview with Phil Holloway. Referring to Willis, he said, quote, "She did reach out to us, one of my colleagues in Maryland, and it was rude, abrupt with him on the phone. And he was dealing with the Maryland case and I was dealing with the Georgia case, and she ended up recording him." Man. Yeah, Holloway asked whether he was suggesting Willis had illegally recorded the call, and he replied, "Oh, yeah, it's a felony in Maryland." I'm telling you, man, Fani, it just keep going from bad to worse. Bad to worse. Worse to bad. Like, dog, like you can't catch a break to save nothing. To save your life right now. You know, and I can believe that she was very rude and abrupt simply just by, I mean, look at the first clip that we watched. I'm not embarrassed by nothing, you know what I mean? I ain't do nothing wrong. You know, this arrogant tone that she has. She wants everybody to believe that her and Wade was just talking about sermons. For real. And while we all sitting here worried about it, I can tell you who ain't worried. She ain't worried, for sure. The media ain't worried, for sure. Washington, D.C. ain't worried, for sure. All the above have no morals and ethics to be worried about in terms of them violating them. Oh, and just to back up, she's a hypocrite, that claim.
Because they deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees. Because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children. Because we deserve better.
You know what? I totally agree with you, Miss Fani Willis. We need some good role models, right? Not hypocrites. Now, Trump's co-defendant, Harrison Floyd, the one who's telling Fani, hey, you need to get this together, he says he feels like his treatment favors Emmett Till. Yes, a drastic comparison, but let's hear him out real quick.
On August 23rd, 2023, the court entered a consent bond order. This is from Exhibit A, consent bond order, setting bail and ordering the defendant to comply with certain conditions of release, including without limitation the following. There were 3 conditions, you guys. A defendant shall perform no act to intimidate any person known to him to be a co-defendant or witness in this case or to otherwise obstruct the administration of justice. The defendant shall not communicate in any way, directly or indirectly, about the facts of the case with any person known to him or her to be a co-defendant in this case, except through his or her counsel. And then C, the defendant shall not communicate in any way, directly or indirectly, about the facts of this case with any person known to him or her to be a witness in the case, except through his or her counsel. I'm reading that, you guys, because what I realized that is it me or is it District Attorney Fani Willis literally is trying to revoke a man's bond for something that many on the outside looking in are like, isn't that the same thing that she's been doing? Whether she's going to to a church talking about issues, doing speeches, doing interviews. It just seems like to me that this behavioral noose was kind of placed around your neck, Harrison. And basically, the idea is you better be quiet, right? Outside of, you don't even have First Amendment rights. You can't speak, you can't say, you're just going to allow us to work this case. And then whatever is the judgment rendered or the decision, you just have to deal with it. Let me ask you, did you feel as if it was hypocritical now that we're on the back end of this, look on the back end looking back, on the forward end looking back, do you not believe that she's guilty of the very thing that she attempted to say you were guilty of?
I think there's no difference between what happened is happening to me than what happened to Emmett Till when he was being lynched and he was professing his innocence, and they just kept beating him and telling him to shut up and calling him a liar.
Wow. That's pretty powerful.
Obviously, Emmett Till went through something very, very different. He was physically harmed. However, I totally understand the metaphor. Totally get the metaphor. He's just saying, hey, I'm somebody who's getting beat in the media, metaphorically, in comparison to Emmett Till, God rest his soul. And I'm sitting here trying to tell people, like, hey, you're coming at me the wrong way. You're coming at me with the wrong information. That's not true. I'm telling you the truth. Here's the truth, and nobody's willing to listen. Man, that has to be. That's a hard place to be in, man.